Hey everybody, it's me, Liz Hicks, and I am here for our first day of block hop between me and Marion Smith from Shabby to Chic, making the ordinary fabulous. And today I'm going to show you how to create this brooch with using recycled sweaters from thrift stores, as well as some old jewelry that I got at a flea market. So I just deconstructed the jewelry and used it to embellish the middle of my blooms here. And yeah, so I just put this onto a nice piece of suede, and then I'll put a nice big brooch back there so that I can use it on a sweater or something or other. And what I did is I actually just went to the thrift store and got these really cool different sweaters. Now these are wool. This one here is wool. This one here is cashmere. And I believe I have one other. This here is cashmere as well. And the green that you see here is wool as well. And normally you would just, you could easily just take old wool sweaters and felt them by putting them in the wash and letting them mat themselves. I'm sure there's a great tutorial out there. I'm not necessarily the world's finest wool felter, I guess you'd say. But what I did just for my own needs was I ran it through the washer and dryer a couple times just to get it nice and firm. And by felting the wool, what I mean is it mats it so that it gets really, the actual fibers get really condensed so that it becomes an easier material to work with. I'm sure that there is a better explanation of that out in Google land, but if you'd like to, go ahead and Google that and they can probably explain it a little better. With this striped sweater, what I'm going to do to show you is just take off the cap little sleeve here. I'm just going to go ahead and start by snipping off right here. Now you can see where it's striped. I can either snip where it's all pink, if I want it all to be pink, or if I want a little bit of this brown, I can snip, or sorry, the gray, I can go ahead and snip in between that. So I'm going to just snip right in the middle, and then I'm going to open it up, and then snip all the way around. Just so that I can get a little trim of that gray. Alright, so you can see here now I have the end of my sleeve, and it's capped in gray. The little, I guess you'd say, base for the wool flower that I'm going to show you how to do, there's a couple different ideas that you could actually take this in. This is where I actually took both ends of the, I guess you'd say, the wool sleeve, like so, and then I just gathered it there. This is where, if I wanted to double it up and sew the opposite way, you can see here this has two different layers. So what you would do is just go ahead and put this on the outside, and then this would be your inside. And then there's this, which takes a little bit more than just this. You probably want to use the waistband of the actual sweater for this, but you get a long strip and then do the same technique with this that I'm about to show you. Alright, so I am going to grab my needle and thread, and for this what I'm going to do is go ahead and show you how to create this little fun guy. And what I like about these, which makes it different for me, is the fact that it's wool and it's just a different texture, so it's really a nice fabric to work with. I'm going to go ahead and fold this inside out so that the seams meet up. Since I want my gray trim to show, I'm going to go ahead and start from the outside so that this will be my inside, or my showing center. And that way my little knot in the back won't show. So what you're going to do is just go ahead and go in and out in big. You can see how big that stitch is. And the bigger the stitch, the bigger your petals, or your petal spread is going to be. This is really, really quick and easy. Keep moving off camera there. See, I'm almost done here. In and out and in and then back out. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull my needle through the center and pull all the way. And if you had a larger piece, you can go ahead and keep pulling as you go so that you aren't gathering all at one time. But oh, that got stuck there. Oh man. You can see I accidentally sewed my needle in. I'm just going to grab my scissors to pull it out real quick. Perfect. So now I'm just going to gather it and just pull gently so you don't rip it. So I'm just going to push the gray towards the outside. And I'm going to do a couple little basting stitches right here just to keep the back stable. And then go through the middle. And because I don't want my seam to show too much, I'm going to make it a really, really small stitch. Just through to the other side. And there you go. So this is just a really nice wearable piece of fabric. Because the wool is so sturdy, it will wear for a while. And what's nice about this is that you could create a lot of different styles. I mean, if you wanted to, like I said, you could turn it inside out and sew the edge around here and then get that raw edge on the outside. Or you can take a long strip of the waistband and then gather it and gather and gather and then roll it into each other. And the embellishments from the centers are just old pieces of jewelry, just costume jewelry that I found for like $1 at the thrift store. So it's nothing that anybody really would want. It's just something that looks really cool. And I actually did sew these down so that they didn't get all funky. And then this piece right here is just an extra that I had left after this flower. And I just cut a strip of it and then gathered it and put it right along the inside just for a little added texture. So yeah, this is one great idea that you can use for recycling materials from thrift stores or from flea markets.